Hello, good afternoon. This is 2:06 p.m. This is the Love Project, David Eastbrook, from Lexington, Massachusetts. Let's see, it is 2:07 p.m. on Tuesday, let's see, April 28th. Wow, April's almost over. Can you believe that? Wow. And it's still chilly here. Whatever. At any rate, so we've kicked off, we've reignited the Love Project, so I'm going to try and do these. I do these every day. I like doing it every day. Kind of fit it into my routine. I'm developing a routine. It's one thing that's different about now than when I was doing this last year. I'm getting much more into routine and getting a way of figuring out how to sort of set up my day and manage my day through the day, not just in terms of having things like to-do lists and all that stuff, but managing my mood, managing my focus, managing my appetite, my food intake. When I remember to eat, try to remember to eat. I forget to eat a lot. Try to work on that. It's really hard. Not hard to keep the weight off when you forget to eat all day. I've lost a lot of weight. You know, when I met Judy, I weighed about 250 pounds. Roughly 250 pounds. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". And I weighed about 250 pounds, and it wasn't good. It wasn't a good 250. I've been heavy before. When I was in graduate school, I lifted weights a lot and got into that for a while. I got up to about 265 pounds of just, didn't look right for me. That's not the kind of body I have. I didn't use any steroids or anything, but, I used all the supplements and all that stuff. I work out now, but I use some supplements and stuff, but I don't use any drugs or any of that stuff. But anyway, getting back to the point. So I've been heavy before, and I've been heavy for a long time. I mean, I've always walked around, ever since college or high school, early college, I've walked around with about 220 pounds on me, and thereabouts 230, around there. Never gave it much thought. I was always in shape. I always, lifted weights and stuff. I was an athlete and all that, so looked good for a while. Maybe in my 20s, while I was in my 20s and early 30s, it looked good-ish. I didn't have to put a lot into it. I didn't have to work out all that much. I just sort of stayed pretty much the same. Stayed fairly active. But now I'm in my late 40s. I'm 47. Yeah, I look it too. I'm looking at the camera, the screen here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 47. Yeah, it's written all over you. That's all right. I like my age. I like my age. And all this wear and tear is worn. All right, now I hear Catboy. He's down here with me today, and he's getting into trouble. So if you hear me scold him, it's because he's knocked something over again, or I just knocked over. I have a bag here for my recycling and all my soda cans, and he just knocked that over, and he's rummaging through that, so I have some cleanup to do. Thanks, Catboy. You might want to come over and be on camera. There's a lot of people who ask about you. He's Cat. He just gave me a look that reminds me that I work for him, so bear that in mind. Anyway, getting back to the weight thing. So when Judy met me, I was a mess. I really was. I was a mess in almost every respect. It's about 3 years ago. No, 3.5 years ago. I was a mess in almost every single respect. Boy, there wasn't a single. I mean, you could look at every category, and pretty much I was charting right along the bottom in almost every one. Health, emotional state, psychological state. I wasn't in really good shape. I wasn't feeling real good, and just my life was. The recession had kicked my butt. A recession and a bad divorce. Well, not a bad divorce, a divorce. Pretty much wrecked me. Boy, divorce, recession, same time. Wow. So, yeah, that's fun. I'm not the only person who's gone through that, so I'm sure a lot of you know how that feels, and I feel your pain. I really do. But, another day. Live to fight another day. That's what we always do. We can survive. We can survive the rough times. And a lot of what I'm going to be doing over the next little bit of time here is talking about how to get through rough times, how to get through rough times on a day-to-day basis, how to really do it. I've figured out some stuff, and I've developed some things that I do. So getting back to the way I looked when the state that I was in when Judy met me, So I was 250 pounds, bad. And I carry my weight right here, right where I can see it. When I sit down, it looks like I swallowed a basketball. And it's not pretty at all. So you got a 6'4" guy, it's fairly lean with a big basketball in the middle of him. No, tough to hide that. Look forward to winter, lots of coats. But I didn't really care how I looked. Honestly, I didn't care. You know, I didn't care. I was drinking a lot. I was very lonely, very alone, in a very bad, dark place. And then things started to happen to me, for me, weirdly. I'd moved up here to Massachusetts from Manhattan, New York City. And wasn't looking for a fresh start, but that's what I got, I guess. And so I found a job and met Judy at the job, on the job that I had. And then some very specific things happened that changed my life. And a lot of people ask about what's changed. Well, wow, you're different. What's the deal? And I say, well, it starts with my birth mother. I was adopted. My birth mother found me. Thank you, Facebook. My birth mother found me. And then in short order, that changed me. That was a shock. Wow. How? Changed me. And I remember going to work the next day. Judy and I worked together. I mean, we were a cubicle away from each other. I came into work the next morning. And Judy and I had already been friends. We'd become friends. We really liked each other, but there was nothing really going on. And she looked at me and she said, David, you're radiating joy. Really? What? I knew I felt different. Well, it wasn't too long after that I asked her out for our first date. For drinks. Didn't get drunk, which is good. Yeah. That's good, though. Well, anybody who's an alcoholic who knows somebody's an alcoholic, seeing an alcoholic drink and not get drunk, that's a remarkable thing. So I didn't get drunk. That was nice. On our second date, she invited me to her home in Lexington to cook dinner for me. So I found my way out here. Second date, in the kitchen, just cooking dinner. It smelled wonderful. I just looked at her. She came over and sat by me and just looked at her. I wasn't planning it, wasn't thinking it, just, Judy, will you marry me? And she immediately said yes. As the words were coming out of my mouth, she said yes. It was one of those things, one of those moments, you know, it's just like it clicked. Something was meant to happen, and I can't really describe it. I just attribute it to God. Now I understand it was, God's plan somehow that we'd be together. So that's what happened. That's how I got married. That's how I got engaged, and we immediately our lives became one pretty much at that moment. And anyway, so getting back to the weight thing. So some of you have seen pictures of Judy. She looks really good. That's deliberate. She studied a lot of science, and boy, you want to talk about somebody who knows food, who knows psychology, who knows health and wellness, emotional wellness and healing and all that stuff. I learned it all from her. And she has learned how to do things like slow the aging process and maintain a healthy lifestyle, healthy weight, and really enjoy food. I like food. I enjoy food. Or I thought I did, until I started eating the food that Judy makes. Let me tell you something. It's good. Tastes really good. Like, really good. I'm a guy who likes to eat food. And everything that she cooks is amazing. Tastes really good. And it turns out it's highly nutritious. That's a key. Nutrition density in your food. What are the ingredients? How much nutrition's in there? And without my knowing it, without my even trying or realizing it, simply by eating this great stuff that she was giving me, putting my lunch and eating for dinner and all that stuff, just by doing that, still doing all that, eating all that, kind of behaving the same way I was, still drinking, which is bad. That doesn't help your weight. But, it didn't really change much. I just started changing, put down that food, which I very quickly didn't like anymore because the good stuff that tastes really good, I was eating things like vegetables. Ugh. Every time she'd prepare something and she'd say, well, David, I'm making this. And I say, oh, I hate that. She'd say, well, that's why I'm making it. I'm like, ugh. And I'm sitting there, that's all you got. So you eat it. And you just, wow. Wow. Boy, does that taste good. And we have a thing in our house, whenever she makes something that's really good, and she can tell I like it because it's gone in about 3 seconds. I eat the whole thing fast. I eat fast when I like it. And I always turn to her and say, you can do that again. And she always makes a lot of it, puts it in the freezer, so we have it. And I can just rummage around the freezer anytime I'm hungry and pull out any of these freezer bags, put it in the microwave, and I know I'm going to eat it. Which is good, because she doesn't always label everything, so I can't always tell what I'm getting, but I always know that it's going to be good. And it's going to be good for me. So what happened to me? So I'm sitting, I'm walking around with this fat, looks like I swallowed a basketball, didn't feel very good either, and I'm in bad mood and all that stuff. Started eating this food. I witnesses. People saw this. There are pictures of me. I lost weight. I lost 40 pounds without realizing it. I remember going to work one morning, and my boss at the time, Paul Reynolds, God bless him, best man at my wedding. Judy and I worked for him. He was our manager. And I walked in. He's a good friend of mine. Great guy. And he said, Dave, your clothes are falling off you. They're just hanging off you. I was like, what? Really? Seriously? And I knew they felt loose and I'd been having issues with the belt, but I didn't really pay any attention. I didn't care. I really wasn't paying any attention to how I dress. I really don't ever pay much attention to how I dress. I just sort of dress with what's comfortable. And so none of this it's kind of like the way I look, although it's kind of weird looking, I suppose, but I'm just comfortable. This is the way I like it. I'm 47, so nobody's looking at me, and, you know, I don't care. Whatever. Point and laugh, I don't mind. Anyway, so he said, yeah, your clothes are falling off. Sure enough, get on the scale when I get home. I weighed 208 pounds. How did that happen? And I felt good. It's like I had color in my face, and I was like, wow. There's a lot of unhealthy stuff I was still doing. I was still drinking, still smoking. I smoke now. That's one of my things. I smoke less than I did, but I still do smoke. Well, one thing at a time, right? Yeah. Quit the things in the order that they will kill you. The drinking had to go, and that was last year, and still this year too. So smoking is on the list. But I had to buy all new clothes. I mean, really, literally had to buy all new clothes because nothing fit. Nothing fit. And I've cut the weight off. I weigh 200 and I range anywhere from about 208 to 212 or so, which is light for a guy my height. It's fairly light. I'm a little underweight. I think I should probably weigh around 220. That's more normal for me, but I want to. I'm going to build that up with muscle. I work out in the gym. I don't work out hard. I found a workout that's really easy that I really like. It's kind of fun. I'll tell you about working out sometime. A lot of people go, oh, look at the gym. Go, oh, I don't want to go work out, whatever. I figured out how to do it, so it's actually easy and fun. It doesn't hurt. And it's just like all of a sudden you look in the mirror, you feel stronger, and you go, wow, what happened? Nothing happened. Time passed. That's it. That's all that happened. Time passed. You started doing something fun that you like and enjoy for a little bit of time every day. And time passes, and you're a different human being. I swear to God. Doesn't really take any effort. No effort at all. No will. I have no will. I'm an alcoholic. I have no self-will. All right. I have no self-will. No discipline. I'm the most undisciplined person you'll ever meet. Lazy. Oh, I'm lazy. I am lazy. Somebody asked me sometime, Dave, why do you work so hard? Why do you work so much? Because I'm lazy. That's why. Because I'm trying to get it over with. I'm trying to get done with it so I can do nothing. Watch TV. Watch sports. Do something fun. Something I enjoy. Well, I'm lazy. So here are the things that I am. These are the things that I am that work against me. I'm lazy. I'm an alcoholic. I'm screwed up. I have issues. Boy, do I have issues. Who doesn't? But I do. I really have issues. And I make bad decisions, typically. I tend to be attracted to things that aren't good for me. All that stuff works against me. But I'm here to tell you, I'm walking proof. I'm walking, living proof that you can come back from however bad you feel, however bad you look, however bad you feel, no matter how long you felt and looked that way. And I looked and felt pretty bad for a long time. Sometimes people, it goes all the way back to childhood. I felt bad all through childhood, and I didn't look very good. Never felt very good. But all that can change. I'm grateful. I'm 47. I'm not dead yet. God willing, I still have a few good years in me. But it can all change. It can all change. It requires nothing. Time passes. All you do is do a couple of different things that are very pleasant and enjoyable, and let time pass. I can do all those things. Bam. New. All right. So what are the keys? There's got to be a trick, right? There's a trick. There's a catch. There is a catch. And sit down, brace yourself, put your seatbelts on, open your mind. That's the best thing you got to do. It's not going to work if you don't open your mind. You have to do that. And you have to be willing. You have to really want it. Okay? I mean, really want it. I mean, deep inside. You really want to change. Doesn't mean you want to get up and do all this stuff right now. But do you really deep inside, sitting there, feeling the way you do you really want to change? Do you really want it to be over? You want it to be different? Now, if you want to, and you're willing, that's all you need. You don't have to get up and run around and start doing stuff all of a sudden. Just be willing and want it. Okay, check that off. If you have that, if you feel that way, now we can get on to the next thing. What's the next thing? Look up. Who's up there? God. You know, a lot of people struggle with God, the thought of God. Does he exist? Why is he? Is he he? Who's God? Who is God? Well, each of us comes to answer that question in our own way, and in following our own path. And there's a lot of different answers, and I have certain answers that I have, but I'm not going to push them overly hard on you, because I found that I came to it by myself in the course of getting sober. I found God, and then I found the definition of my spirituality and my beliefs and the things that I believe in. I'm not going to get into that right now. But you have to believe, you have to allow yourself to believe in God. Well, I'm getting really into this, and so I'm trying to figure out how to answer questions that people have, and I've been asked this morning. I was on the phone with a friend of mine who was asking me all these things, and I was trying to help her, and I was saying, well, okay, this is what I did, and this is how it works, and all that stuff. So, how do I believe in God? Well, there's actually something you can do. There is, you can't be, I don't want to believe in God, I don't want to believe in God. Well, it doesn't work that way. But, turns out, there's a way. And it's easy. First of all, I'm not going to get into Christian preaching here, because I'm a Christian, and I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm going to leave it as sort of generic as I can. In recovery, people talk about a higher power. Let's leave it at that. So, how do I believe in the existence of a higher power, of God? Well, here's how I came to believe. Do you believe in miracles? Do you know what a miracle is? Do you believe in it? Most people are like, well, I hear about it and they write about it and stuff, but I've never witnessed one. Okay, there you go. Never witnessed one. Okay, so if you were to witness a miracle, if you were to actually witness one, what would that do? Okay, so imagine I have a cut on my arm, right here. And you're looking at it, there's a cut, it's bleeding, damage. And you're watching it, and it heals, just heals. Would you believe that a miracle had occurred? Most people would say yes. Okay? All right, so you witnessed a miracle. For me, witnessing a miracle was kind of that was my threshold. I needed to witness a miracle to believe in the existence of God. And I did. I did. And I'm going to explain that. You know where I saw it? I witnessed a miracle for the first time that I was aware of it in an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. I was looking for help. I couldn't stop drinking, and it was ruining me. It almost killed me. And walked into the door, wrecked, not believing, pretty much hopeless, knowing, believing, understanding that it was going to take a miracle for me to put alcohol down. I knew it was going to take something, a miracle. That's all it could take. I simply could not imagine any other way that it was going to change. Did I stop drinking right away because I went to an AA meeting and I went to one the next day and the next day and the next day? Nope. Nope. Took me a while. Took me a while. Months. That's why you have to go every day. Every day. Just show up. Just show up. And listen. Be engaged. Open your mind. And understand that I'm just telling you this right now. And it's AA meetings or whatever fellowship or healing thing that you're doing. I'm just giving you my experience. And for me, it was Alcoholics Anonymous, AA. So, what happened? I started going every day. And learning and listening to other people and observing them. Months of this went by. I'm still drinking. I get sober for a while. And I couldn't hold it. And I was getting sicker and sicker. Learning a lot. Changing some. But one thing happened. First thing happened. It occurred to me. I realized. And I looked around the room and I saw all these people who were sober, who had found sobriety. I had witnessed miracles. Those were miracles. One, every face was a miracle. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was a miracle. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, that shook me. It's a miracle. Okay. I remember somebody said to me early when I was first starting. She said to me, she said, David, don't quit before the miracle happens. I didn't quit. I kept going. And guess what? It happened. I went to the meeting and I read the stuff in the readings and I said this stuff and said the phrases and the sayings and the prayers and all that stuff, and I just kept doing it over and over and over again, and I wanted it and I was willing and I was patient and I stuck with it. And then one day the miracle happened. The obsession was lifted. It just, I don't know what to say. Okay? I'm just sharing with you what happened to me. So, I promise this will come around to something. 24 minutes, that's too long. Okay, I'm going to interrupt this now because that's too long. Sorry. I'll pick it up later. God loves you. I love you. Feel peace and share some peace. Part 1 is over. Part 2 will begin in a little bit. Okay? I promise. Thank you.